What's up, guys? I actually wanted to touch on something today I've been getting questions about it um, over the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months, of just how I deal with distraction. Not that I'm like any type of guru on dealing with distraction or anything like that, um, but some of the things that I've used. Personally, I've been going through a little bit of my own distraction over the last couple of months, and so the thing that I did was I actually reached out to friends and family, people that I deemed wise and experienced in just in life in general, and sought out some counsel from them. And one of the things that kept happening over and over and over from each one of these people had been how they always seem to have this overwhelming thing about appreciating either where you're at, who you're with, what you're doing, or whatever the case may be. So a thing that I just kept picking out of it is you have to appreciate a moment, appreciate it. So what I've chosen to do, or what I chose to do at the time, was use the whole idea, the whole concept of appreciation to eliminate my distraction, to dumb down my distraction, to lessen my distraction. The more you appreciate what you have, the less you tend to be distracted by, externalities, I guess. So that's kind of what I took my notes over, and I honestly wanted to kind of share with you guys these notes that I've just been taking for myself over the last couple of weeks or whatever. So basically, like I said, it's pretty uncommon to actually use appreciation to eliminate distraction, but it's pretty easy to do. And so basically, what I did is I used the distraction, just the whole idea of distraction, and how it's countered by appreciation, by definition. Meaning, I've literally looked up the whole concept of appreciation, used it by definition, and how I could use that to counter any type of distraction. Super simple, right? So, by definition, appreciation is pretty much twofold. Number one, it says it's the recognition and enjoyment of the good qualities of someone or something. Okay, that's number one. The second way, or the second wave, I should say, of appreciation is a full understanding of a situation. So, how to use those two in order to eliminate distraction? Real simple. Now, if I recognize and I enjoy whatever it is that I'm being distracted from, again, it's gonna kind of lessen that distraction, because again, I fall back in love with whatever I'm doing, whatever my goal was, and or whoever I'm with. Okay, so by recognizing those good qualities and appreciating those good qualities, you actually have an opportunity to kind of push that distraction to the side. It lessens the distraction. Super simple. So it could be your job, it could be some part of your career that you're really passionate about. It could be your training, it could be whatever. If you focus on the good things, the things about it that you enjoy, the distraction that you had that may have distracted you from that, or from them, or from whatever it is, it tends to be lessened, because again, you're focused on the important things, the things that make you happy. A lot of times happiness really lessens the blow of a lot of things. So that's one. The second thing is to fully understand the situation. In this particular case, to fully understand the distraction, to fully understand the situation that you're being distracted from. If you fully understand and pretty much appreciate the distraction, you actually give it just enough power to eliminate it. Make sense? So whatever it may be distracting me, I have to fully appreciate, fully understand why I'm being distracted, what it's distracting me from, and pretty much why I'm being swayed whatever way, in order to eliminate it. Because if you don't educate yourself on whatever it is that's swaying you, whatever way, right or left, you're just going to be stuck in the wind, just doing this the whole time. So those two things are super, super simple. Okay, so once that's done, once you've made decided, if you're going to appreciate it or not, then you move on to the next step. Super simple. Like I said, it's just a twofold thing. You immediately decide right then and there if it's worth even dealing with. If that distraction's worth dealing with, and if it has enough power over you, then you might have to deal with it. But if you don't feel, or if it's not affecting to the point where it's just preventing you from being productive in life, then dude, just boot it and move on to the next. You know what I mean? Now, if your answer is no, of course. Now, if your answer is yes, then again, the second thing, two simple things, okay? Now, you've already appreciated and you've already accepted that the distraction is there. But in order to do that, not only do you appreciate and accept it, it's there, but you also appreciate and accept the fact that it's going to be there, but only for as long as you allow it to be there. In my opinion, distractions don't necessarily play themselves out. You allow them to play themselves out. You got what I'm saying? It's going to be really, really, really hard for you to get over distraction, to get past distraction if you allow it to keep distracting you. Got what I'm saying? So the power that you give it is the power that it's going to pretty much feed off of and just manifest itself into more and more and more and more and more distraction, pretty much. Distraction pretty much begets distraction. So this is a super cool thing that I kind of like talking about. Well, I had one of my old drama teachers back in high school, Jared Worsham, he used to always say, the only power that you have over me is that which I grant you. So I grant you none. Super simple. If you don't grant anything or anyone the power to distract you, that distraction doesn't exist anymore. You can move on to something bigger and better. Now, I believe it's Corey Robert Lewis. Corey Robert Lewis said, the only power that I have is the power I grant myself. He also says, while the only power that you have over me is the power that I grant you. Super simple, almost the same as Dr. Worsham would say. Distraction it's a form of power that we allow something or someone to have over us. If we don't grant them the power, if we don't grant that situation to have the power, we no longer are distracted. We're able to actually move on to do bigger and better things. Like that stumble right there was a distraction. But we don't allow ourselves to be distracted. We don't allow ourselves to be lorded over by something as simple as a distraction. But rather, we look in the eye, we meet it head on, and then move on to the next. So that's a super simple way of kind of approaching it. And then, of course, the second thing is something that people commonly do anyway when dealing with distraction, and it's literally focusing on other things that are going to add to your quality of life. So while focusing on other tasks that are going to add to your quality of life, not necessarily making yourself busy, but rather adding things to your life that are going to make your life better, all the while dampening, pushing back the distraction. You're not necessarily running away from the distraction, but you're actually making your life better, all the while pushing the distraction away. And eventually that distraction doesn't necessarily affect you as much as it did before. Super simple. And for some people it's easier said than done. But again, if the distraction has that much power over you, it takes that much more concentration into oneself to eliminate something that's deterring you from just being a better person. All in all, it's about being better. It's about increasing the quality of life. If you can't because of a distraction or something that's preventing you from getting better, being better, acting better, treating other people better, then sometimes it takes help. Sometimes it just takes talking to somebody. Sometimes it takes, being real with yourself rather than lying to yourself, assuming that it's just going to go away with time, but rather sometimes you have to be proactive about the situation. And that's where the appreciation of the situation comes in. That's where appreciating the distraction and the situation that's it's distracting you from, that's where that comes into play. And it actually helps so very much. Again, I would never have anybody do anything that I haven't done myself, and I'm literally in the process of doing it as we speak. And it works. It works for real. So again, this isn't, anything to, be super inspirational or anything. It's just like, man, people are dealing with distraction right now. It's the holiday season, life in general. You're full of, it's just full of distractions. So I just wanted to put something out there, man, for those of you that may need a bit of encouragement, and just dealing with some type of distraction and realizing that, you can conquer a lot of evil with good. You can conquer a lot of negativity with positive. And I believe a distraction can be super negative. It can be a super, super, super downer. But appreciation of whatever it is such a positive thing, because, in the end, you're using some form of positivity to dampen out something negative. So again, I just want you guys to be encouraged, man. Thank you guys for listening. I mean, have any comments, leave them. If you like it, do it. If you want to subscribe, do it. Spread it to your people. But you guys be blessed, man. Have an awesome holiday season.